Welcome back to Extreme Earth Docs. Open any map of southern Africa and you'll immediately spot one of the strangest geographic anomalies on Earth. To the north sits Luanda, a booming capital metropolis of over 10 million people. To the far south lies Cape Town, a bustling global hub. But if you trace the Atlantic coastline between them, you will find something utterly bizarre. 2,000 miles of absolute nothingness. In an era where humanity builds glittering megacities right in the middle of Arabian deserts, why has this massive ocean coastline remained completely abandoned? Indigenous tribes called it the land God made in anger. European sailors simply named it the gates of hell. The secret behind this dead zone isn't just brutal nature, it's tied to an invisible atmospheric shield and a heavily guarded multi-billion-dollar secret buried in the sand. To understand why this coast is so barren, we first have to look at the rest of the continent. Just north of here lies the lush Congo Basin, home to the second-largest rainforest on the planet. To the east, countries like Mozambique are covered in vibrant, rain-soaked savannas. So why is the west coast a desolate ocean of sand? The answer lies out at sea. The Benguela Current. Originating in the icy depths near Antarctica, this massive conveyor belt pushes freezing, nutrient-rich water northward along Africa's western shore. Normally, the sun warms coastal waters, causing evaporation that turns into rain clouds. But the Benguela Current is so cold that it chills the air sitting directly above it. Because cold air is heavy and dense, it cannot rise. It stays trapped beneath the warmer desert air above in a meteorological phenomenon called a temperature inversion. The result? An invisible atmospheric barrier that completely blocks rain clouds from forming. You can literally stand ankle deep in the world's second-largest ocean while dying of thirst. This relentless cycle created the Namib Desert, the oldest desert on Earth, enduring hyper-arid conditions for over 55 million years. But while the ocean denies the land rain, it delivers something else entirely. Blinding, suffocating fog that blankets the shore for over 200 days a year. That lethal combination of blinding fog, violent surf, and shifting underwater sandbars turned this stretch into a maritime graveyard. The Skeleton Coast. Over 1,000 shipwrecks lie scattered along this shoreline, slowly rusting away beside sun-bleached whale and seal bones. When Portuguese navigators first sailed down this coast in the late 1400s, searching for a route to India, they were terrified. Finding no fresh water, no timber, and no safe natural harbors, they erected stone crosses to claim the land and sailed away as fast as they could. For centuries, the only humans capable of surviving here were the indigenous strand lopers, the beach walkers. They never attempted to build permanent towns. Instead, they adapted as scavengers, surviving on shellfish, seabirds, seals, and stranded whales, even using massive whale rib bones as rafters for their shelters. They knew better than to try and conquer the desert. But in the early 20th century, a single discovery flipped this forgotten wasteland into one of the most guarded territories on the planet. In 1908, a railway worker named Zacharias Lewala was clearing wind-blown sand off the tracks near the coastal settlement of Luderitz when he spotted a glittering stone. It was a diamond, and there weren't just a few. The desert sands were literally covered in them. Over millions of years, the Orange River had washed high-grade raw diamonds from deep inside the African continent out into the ocean, where the Benguela Current swept them right back onto the beaches and dunes. The German colonial empire realized they were sitting on an open-air treasure chest. They took drastic measures, declaring over 10,000 square miles of coastline a strictly locked-down zone named the Sperrgebiet, the Forbidden Area. Overnight, access was banned. Behind the barricades, lavish mining towns like Kolmanskop sprung up out of nowhere, boasting opera halls, champagne bars, and even an ice factory in the middle of the desert. But the desert always reclaims what is hers. When the diamond rush shifted and wars dismantled the colony, the towns were abandoned. Today, Kolmanskop is a surreal ghost town where knee-deep sand dunes pour through bedroom doors and fill living rooms to the ceiling. Colonial empires have long since collapsed, and Namibia has been an independent nation for decades. So why hasn't anyone built a modern coastal highway or new cities to bridge the gap between Luanda and Cape Town? The answer comes down to three impenetrable barriers. Number one, the modern diamond monopoly. Number two, the relentless physics of the dunes. What about the northern coast where there are no diamonds? Here, engineering simply hits a wall. Propelled by fierce Atlantic winds, these massive 1,000-foot dunes migrate up to 50 feet every single year. Any highway, railway, or town built here would be swallowed by millions of tons of shifting sand within months. Factor in corrosive saltwater fog that destroys steel infrastructure and zero natural freshwater, and the cost of building anything becomes economically impossible. And number three, accidental conservation. Because humans were kept out by hostile nature, colonial laws, and corporate monopolies, this coastline inadvertently became one of the most pristine wilderness sanctuaries on Earth. The governments of Angola, Namibia, and South Africa have joined these stretches into a massive continuous network of national parks. That massive 2,000-mile gap on the map isn't a failure of modern engineering or lack of ambition. It is a rare instance where ancient climate patterns, cutthroat colonial history, and diamond economics joined forces to keep human expansion at bay. It stands as a humbling reminder that no matter how advanced our technology becomes, there are still places on this planet where nature holds absolute control. Do you think this coast should remain an untouched, strictly protected ecological sanctuary, or will human engineering eventually conquer the sand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed uncovering this piece of geographic history, hit the like button, subscribe to Extreme Earth Docs, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into the world's most extreme places. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.